Hi everybody, happy Tuesday. I hope you're all having a blessed day today. I know I am. Thank you, Jesus. Always on my side. He always provides. So today I feel a little out of the weather. My tonsils hurt and I have a little bit of sharp little pulses going on in my ear. And I've been a wreck in the kitchen, people. I cut this finger. I cut it, and then a little while later I cut it here, and then a little while later I cut it here. So I'm like full of band-aids. I guess when I'm not feeling weird, I fumble a little bit and I miss because I chopped myself up there. Okay, so if you saw yesterday's video, I told you that I was gonna make a soup, and it's called mondongo. Mondongo, okay, and it's a soup that requires meat and a whole bunch of root vegetables like chuka, jautia, malanga, bananas, plátanos, and I did all that preparation yesterday. I had a lot of help. Thank you, Jesus. I got help. So here it is in front of me. Look at this. Look at this. I'm sorry, guys. I'm in my PJs because I don't feel good today. So you know what? I'm just going to get the soup done, get it inside me, and hopefully it'll do a little fix. So these are all my root vegetables that I have here. And like I said, I have chuka, malanga, bananas, guineos. I have so many of them. You'll see the video. I even put pumpkin in it. There's pieces of pumpkin. Okay, so there's just about every kind of root vegetable you could find there. Okay, I cut up a bunch of peppers and onions here, so I have some peppers and onions already cut out. I have a whole bunch of cilantro here. That's going to be real good, the cilantro. I also have some little pieces of ham that when I make that big ham, that ham is still coming around. It's still doing its turn. There's still some left. And I'm using it every day with every little invention I can make because I like variety. All right, so I got this ham, and I'm going to cook this ham up with my green, with my onions there, and I have some garlic, which I totally forgot to squish up, but I think I have some in the fridge. I have canned tomato sauce here, a big one. I'm going to be using the whole thing. I have some olives. They're the ones without the pit. I prefer it that way. And over here I had made my own oregano. See this plant here? This is oregano plant. So I made oregano oil with it. Oh boy, it got tight on me. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna have to get this open. Let me get a knife. Or not a knife. I'm gonna try to use this part of the bottle opener. See if I could just get a little space going here. Just a little space. And see if I could pop that air out. I told you I'm weak. Ah, hallelujah, hallelujah. All right, so this is my oregano oil. It's just some olive oil with oregano leaves inside. So I call it my oregano oil. And this is really good. It's gonna give my soup a good flavor. All right, so over here I have some corn that I'm gonna put in. I chopped it up. This is fresh corn. And over here, now this dish requires 4 different kinds of meats. So it's supposed to be 2 beef and 2 pork. So what I chose for the beef is beef cubes, like a beef round cubes. So that's what this portion is here, is beef round cubes. And over here I have beef oxtails that requires for beef also. And then on this side I have short mini ribs. I cut them up. They were big ribs and I chopped them up into pieces. So we have the ribs there, and it requires another pork. These are pork ribs, and it requires another pork. Now, a while ago, I made pasteles. Remember my pasteles? So I made pasteles, and I took all the skin off of the big pork loin. So I had a lot of skin, and I didn't want to throw that away because that's delicious, fried, cooked. You could use it in so many things, like I'm going to use it here. This dish requires that you put pig's feet in here, but I don't feel like that today, so I'm not doing that. So what I did was I took the pork skin that I had put away and I just cut it up into little pieces. They all have chunks of meat, a little piece of meat there. But what you really needed was the fat and this part, the thickness of the skin. So those are the 4 meats that I have: 2 beefs and 2 porks. All right, so those are the meats that I'm going to use. It seems like a lot. Well, it is going to be a lot, especially when I'm going to whip out this big guy over here. So we're going to use this pot. All right, I have my salt and pepper over here. Here's the cover. This pot is so big, and yet it's so light on this side. The handle is heavier, so it keeps tipping over on me. That's how heavy it is. But okay, let's work with this. So I'm just gonna give this another rinse, even though I rinsed it, but I have to feel like I rinsed it again. All right, so I'm gonna light my stove and we're gonna start cooking. You're not gonna cooperate. Even though I'm sick, you're still not gonna cooperate. Fine. There we go. So now that I have my pot there, I'm gonna start with a little bit of the oregano oil, because what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cook my onion and garlic and peppers. So that's a good amount. I hope you could see it. I'm gonna look in the camera to see if I could see, but I'm using this olive oil right there. Just a little bit more. Okay, that's good. I'm using this olive oil. You could see. Use about that much. That's a good amount. That's going to give a really good flavor to my base. Let me see if I could see the pot. Oh, you could see it somewhat. All right. I'll show you from time to time. I'll tip it over. Okay. So now that I have my oil in here, and you could smell it, the aroma, it smells delicious. I'm going to throw in my onions and my peppers. I got one. What I did was I took half of a red pepper and half of a red onion. Excuse me. Oh no, here we go again. Okay, so what I did was I took 1/2 green pepper, 1/2 red pepper, and 1 whole large onion. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cook that down for a minute, and while that's cooking, that's gonna take about a good 5 minutes, okay? So while that's cooking, I'm gonna smash this garlic, okay? So give me a minute. Okay, everybody. So this is really good. It's cooking up really nicely. Very nice. Now, what I want to do is I want to add some garlic to it, because I didn't add any garlic, and I tell you I needed to chop some up. I just gave it a rough chop, as you can see, so I'm just going to put 1 spoon of that garlic in there, like that. I think that should be enough. It's starting to smell so good. And what else do I have to put in here? I have the ham, so I'm going to add my ham in there and cook it up. So everything is like step 1, step 2, step 3. So this is cooking. It's going to take a few minutes. After I see that this stir fries a little bit, I'm going to take it out. Okay? And I'm just going to put it into a little bowl. I have a bowl right here. I'm going to take it out just for a few minutes, because I want to stir fry my meat in here, but I don't want to do it with the veggies. All I wanted to do was have the veggies just cook a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper to these onions, like basically marinating it. And I'm going to add a little salt, not too much. That's good. And I'm going to add half of a sazon. Okay, that's good enough for me. So it's looking really nice, and it smells so good. So delicious. So you put a lot of preparation into this, guys. This is like something that us Spanish people don't make usually, because it requires so many different ingredients. So, you know, it's like a specialty, something, I don't know, My brain's not functioning. More like a special meal, something that you would make for like Thanksgiving, a turkey, or just occasional things. Or if it's in even in the restaurants, when you make this soup, they don't make it every day. They'll make a big batch and they'll serve it out for 2 days. And if they make it the next week, maybe yes or maybe no, but it's not something that you typically find in a menu unless it's really popular the place and you know this goes really fast. Other than that, you know, it's a special occasion kind of soup. So I got a special occasion. I'm not feeling good and this could last 2 days. Yay. Okay, so this is good. This is what I wanted. You see, they're already wilting. So since they're wilting, I'm just going to take it and I'm going to dump it in this pot right there. I'm going to put it back into the soup after I stir fry my meat. Because right now you need to stir fry the meat. So I'm just going to put it back there. And I'm just going to add a little bit. It doesn't need much. This meat will release a lot. It will release a lot of its own fats. So I think with 2 tablespoons, it's just fine to add the meat. So my pot is already hot. I don't really need to wait for it to get any hotter. So I'm gonna grab this big old thing of meat. I raise about 10 pounds of meat in here. So I'm just gonna throw it all in there. Just like that. And I'm gonna try to stir fry this up a little bit. So it's gonna take a while. So I'm gonna add the rest of my sazon that I use, half a pack. I'm gonna add that in, and I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper. That's good. And I'm gonna add a little salt, like that. Okay, and now I'm gonna wait for this to stir fry. It's gonna take at least maybe 8 to 10 minutes. So I'll be back in a few minutes when this is stir fried, because this is a lot right here to just stir fry. Okay, it's gonna take not that long. Like I said, it'll only take like see, it took almost half the pot, but it will shrink down a little bit after stir fried. You're gonna see it's gonna shrink. Okay, so I'll be back in a few minutes after I stir fry this. Okay, everybody, so it's been cooking here for 10 minutes, I would say. I'm not going to get it fried because it's releasing a lot of water. Okay, since it's releasing a lot of water, that's fine. I'm just going to take my veggie. Did I start recording? I have to check. So I'm going to put my onion and my garlic in there. And let me see if this camera's moving. Okay, so now I have my meat with my veggies. Everything looks so yummy. Now it's time for us to start in preparations to make like cooking this stew type of thing. So I have some olives here. I have some olives and I can't find my spoon. Where's my spoon? Okay. Oh, it's Russia. Okay, so I'm gonna throw in a few, not so many, maybe like 10. Remember, this is salty. The olives are salty, so yeah, about 10 to 12, and maybe 1, 2, 3 little spoons of the rind, because the rind is what's gonna make it taste really good. Alright, so we have that in there. Just going to give it another quick little mix. And then I'm going to throw my sazon in here. Okay. I'm going to take a sazon and I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to take half of my cilantro and I'm going to put it in there. So here's one. This is going to be a big pot of soup. So I'm going to use a half All right, that's good. So I have half here. I might or might not put it in when I put the veggies, but every time you add something new, you're putting something that's unseasoned with something seasoned. So you want to season a little bit of everything as you go along. So there we go. This is nice and seasoned now. Now what I want to do is, since the meat is like only partially cooked, I wouldn't say halfway, because this meat is really tough and it takes a long time, especially the oxtail. So since it takes a long time to cook, we have to cover it and simmer it for about an hour. So now that I have everything mixed in there nice, that's what it looks like. You can see the broth in there. All right, so I'm gonna take this can of tomato sauce and I'm gonna put it in. Oh, don't dirty my new PJs. First, let me take a little bit of the cilantro. I'm gonna take half. I'm gonna use half now, and I'm gonna use half later. What's this little stick? It's a brown stick. I'll just take the stick out. Okay, so I'm gonna use half. I just want to incorporate that before I add my tomato sauce in there. It smells so good. This soup is gonna be so good. And it's perfect time for it. I guess it doesn't have to be just chicken. Like when you're sick, you have chicken soup. Maybe it doesn't have to be chicken. Maybe it's just the bone broth that's important. Don't splash me. Okay, let me get splashed. I'm gonna put just a little tiny bit of water, because I don't want to leave any tomato sauce behind. So that's good right there. So now I'm going to give this a quick little mix. Make sure all that's incorporated really good. And this will still continue to release more broth, you know, and pieces getting smaller as liquid is reduced from the meat. So I'm going to push all this down. I didn't add any salt or pepper to it. I'm not going to do that now until I add my other ingredients, which are going to be like an hour from now, or maybe an hour and a half, depending on how soft the meat is. All right, so I'm just going to use my big cover, because this cover, I got it from the Salvation Army when my son worked at the Salvation Army. And when I got this big pot that I thought was perfect for pasteles and for soups, it came without a cover. So it didn't have a cover, but you know what? I got back up. It's not a problem. It's not a problem, guys. All right, I'm just gonna cover that up, and I'm gonna lower that flame really low. Okay, so I lowered it to like a medium low, kind of low. I just want to bring it to a simmer, maybe a little higher. Okay, that's it. That's like a medium low. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that on medium low, and I'm gonna come and check on it in about half an hour. Okay, see what it looks like, and then I'll check it again in another half an hour, and then within that hour or hour and a half, if it's nice and tender, then I'll come back and we could add the rest of the ingredients, which is my veggies or my roots, and the cilantro and the corn, plus the water that it's got to cook in. And guys, I don't know what I was thinking. I thought it was really Christmas. This is such a huge meal, but I went so overboard, like really overboard. I thought 2 or 3 little pieces of each thing was gonna be enough. Too much. What am I gonna do with all this? See all this? That is a heck of a lot. I'm not gonna use all this. I wouldn't have the pot. I would need like a bathtub or something to put all that in. No, I'm not gonna use all that. but I have an idea that I can do for that. I'm just gonna take all the veggies that are left over and I'm gonna put them in the blender, and I'm gonna make this pie. I'm gonna blend this up, and I'm gonna put a bottom layer to it, and then I'm gonna put some meat. I'm thinking, I haven't got a clue. I don't want ground beef, but who knows? Maybe I'll make a nice chicken and then layer a chicken layer in there, and then the other part of the meat on top, kind of like a pastelón, something that has meat in the middle and both the sides with the masa or the batter. Okay, so I'm rambling. I'm gonna let this cook, and I hear it cooking really fast. Do you want to peek? See how that looks? That looks really good, but the middle is cooking faster than the ends. So I'm just gonna lower it a little bit more. I don't know, something tells me that I need some meat, but what I'm doing is I'm cooking the sauce. So I'm gonna let this cook. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me get my measuring cup. I'm going to take this 2 cups of water that I have here, and I'm just gonna leave it by the stove. I'm waiting for the sauce to cook. Once that sauce cooks, I'm gonna add in the liquid and then let it cook. But right now, the sauce is cooking and it has such a good smell. But what I really want is for the meat to soften, and if I cook it at this level where there's only just a little sauce, that sauce will evaporate and it won't be that good. So I'm gonna add a little water to it, just about a minute. Just a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna add it, because that meat was so hot, the pan was hot, so the meat would that sauce would cook in about 5 to 6 minutes, and I think it has been about 4 minutes now. So I could give it a little turn. It smells really good. See what it looks like? See what I mean? That it doesn't have enough broth to cook. So but the sauce is cooking, so I'm just gonna, I don't think that I want to add the whole 2 cups, but I think I'm gonna need it so it can cook down. So now that that sauce is cooked, I'm gonna put in 1/2 cup just to be safe. All right, 1/2 cup. So I mean 1 cup. This is 2 cups, so that's it. It's about up to here, so that's good right there. I put 1 cup of water in there. Now I'm gonna bring it up to heat, and when I see that it comes to a full boil, I'm gonna cover it, and we'll be back in about 1/2 an hour to check on it. Okay, so I'm not gonna add any more water to that. That's good. That's enough for it to simmer for a good hour and not lose any of the liquid. All right, so I'm just gonna put my spoon right there in the water, because I'm gonna use the water later. I need to clean this mess over here, but so see how fast that came to a full boil? That's what I wanted, for it to come to a full boil, so then I could cover it and simmer it, and then it won't lose that boiling effect. It'll just keep simmering. So let's let it boil for a few minutes. It's looking really good. I think I would do really well in a pit if you give me a big old pan like that, and you give me a little spatula, a little shovel. I think I can make the biggest meal for the largest amount of people. Alright guys, so that's it. It's boiling. I'm gonna move this handle to the side. I don't want anybody to bump into it, so it's perfectly in the middle there. It has even temperature going around all sides, so this is the time. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna cover it. I wish I had some aluminum foil, but I ran out, or else I would have covered it, but it's too high now. I gotta bring it to that. Okay. A medium to low, not medium to high, medium to low. So it's gonna cook on that medium to low. I'm gonna leave it. I'm not even gonna check it for a whole 40 minutes. All right, I'll check it with you if you want, but 40 minutes we're gonna check it. And what I'm gonna look for is to see if the meat has gotten a little bit more tender. That's what I want. Okay, so I'll be back. Hi everybody, I'm back and this has been cooking for about an hour and a half. So you can see that the meat has gone down significantly. It looked like so much in the beginning and now it's all cooked. And I saw a little piece of rib somewhere that had like come out loose from the bone. Here we go, look. So we can tell that it's already happening. See? It peels away. So that tells me that the meat is nice and tender. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna boost the flavor up really quick. I've been putting my spoon right in this water. So I'm gonna throw a little bit of garlic and the last of the cilantro. So this is like just like a flavor booster. That's what I wanted. Did I press record? Okay, yes, I pressed record. Okay, so that's like just a little flavor booster, okay? So I'm gonna add my veggies. I have some here. It was two pans, so I'm gonna add these in. And these will also like melt down a little bit. This is a real big pan. I'm gonna add some corn in there before I forget that this takes up room too. So let's add some corn. I hope I can get a lot of them in here. Let's see. And this doesn't require anything else after I put the veggies. You know what? I think it worked perfectly. See? That's pretty good. All right, so what's in here? Okay, a little bit of sazon. And the reason why I'm adding these little bit of extra ingredients because we're going to throw water in this. All right, so I used about 3 sazons during the way. And now to start putting some of this is a heck of a lot. So much, guys. I don't know how much I'm going to put, but I told you I have plans. I have other ideas. Since it's already grated, it's like perfect, so I could just smash it. Look, see? Getting some of that pumpkin way in the bottom. I don't know what I'm putting in here since everything is just mixed all in there. I know I want those banana pieces. I'm trying to get a little bit of everything, guys. Okay, it's getting lighter now in my hand. Okay, let's get some more pumpkin pieces in here. Yup, I say that's filling up. So I think I got a little bit of everything. What do you think? Let's see. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a lot. This is going to be a lot to put away. Like I said, I'm going to grind all this. I'm just going through it. Like I said, most of these pieces, they'll shrink down in there. But I'm just saying, some of these pieces that I see that I didn't have that. I think that's the yame. Trying to find those pieces. Okay, so I think that's it, guys. I don't think I could fit anything else in there. This is ridiculous. Okay, so I'm going to raise the heat all the way to the top. And I'm going to get my water. And I'm just going to start pouring water in there until I see it reach the top. That was 2 cups. It doesn't matter. Okay, I can see it now. I could see it. It's definitely rising up. Oh my goodness. I'm going to take a little bit more, but I don't know how much more I'm going to put. I think that's good. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt on the top. Just a little bit, because I want to season that water. And that's it, guys. Now we have to wait for all this to cook, which is only going to take like 15 minutes or so. I'm thinking, hoping that it'll only take 15 minutes. But I want to make sure I get those veggies down in the water where they need to be. Okay, so that's it. I can't add any more to this, and I'll probably have to add water. Maybe not. They'll all shrink down. All my veggies will shrink down. This is so funny. This must be my my greatest challenge ever. But oh, give me those leaves. Get in there, leaves. I need a little bit of taste. You know what, guys? I'm not gonna cover this, and I'm gonna pause this because this needs to cook for about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna come back and show you almost the end results, okay, when I got a good boil ongoing. Because right now this is gonna take to boil, and you need to watch it so it don't spill over, so you can lower the heat. So yeah, this is gonna take a while to boil, so I'll be back in a few. I turned it on to show you. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, oh my God, it's so scary, so big. It's so big and so much. Oh my goodness, what did I do? It's finally coming to a boil, and I have been standing here watching this pot for 10 minutes, just watching it to see what it's doing. And so far, it hasn't even come to a rapid boil, even though everything is hot inside. I'm just thinking, oh, this hot stuff is on the bottom, so I'm gently just trying to put the spoon in there, wiggle whatever it's down there, and just like make sure it doesn't burn. But oh my goodness, I'm just hoping I have enough liquid here. Let's see what happens, guys. I'll be right back, okay? Hi everybody, I'm back, and as you could see, all the veggies cooked down already. You got broth now, and they're so ready. This is completely ready, and I figure the more I mix it, the more I'm gonna break up all those veggies. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna serve a plate, because I can't believe how ridiculously delicious this looks right now. So I have a plate right here, or should I say a bowl, and I'm gonna start by adding some of whatever comes out in there. Right there, this is the main thing, all the veggies, and they look really nice and done. And you can always grab some meat, look, some of that. That looks delicious. Look at, I thought it was gonna be too much, but on the contrary, look, it wasn't that much. This is like a meat fest going on here. I'm looking for some of the pink, the pumpkin, but you could see it. It looks like it already broke down already. The pumpkin broke down to little pieces. So that's it, guys. Look, this is delicious. All right, that's about it. Just take a couple more pieces, but this looks so good. And I didn't even take a corn yet. Look at the corn. I'll take a corn. And another piece of meat. No more meat. This is like a meat fest going on here. I want some bananas and some variety. This is a big bowl. I don't know who I'm kidding by feeding someone that much, but look how beautiful that looks. Get back in there. Look how beautiful and filling that is. And then you just grab yourself the broth and you bathe it. Look at that. Doesn't that look delicious, guys? It took a long time. I'm gonna turn it off now. It took a long time to make, and it was totally worth it. And you should follow this recipe. This is a very, very hearty meal, and you're gonna love it. I put a lot of love into this. So that's my recipe for today. I hope you like it. I hope you all have a blessed night. If you liked my video, give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and share the live out. Thanks for watching. Good night, guys. Look at this big pot. In case you missed it, look at this. It's like the never-ending bowl. Amazing. Look at this, guys. All right, good night. Love you guys for watching. Bye.